Okay, there we go. So I've already told you, those of you who are coming on, see, this is a weight training glove. It could be a biking glove because they have the fingers cut out too. It's very, very helpful to use this if you have a lot of hand discomfort, okay? So I'm going to start our little session today by doing my double arm swing. Normally I do split swings. I'm doing straight on both of them. And you see how I'm backing back? And then I'm stepping forward. And I'm trying to think, okay, how does my foot feel as I'm walking forward and as I'm walking backward? Okay, now you've been walking around your house this morning. Let me tell you what I did this morning. It was hilarious. I'm pretty warmed up. I got a fence for my dogs so the coyotes don't kill them. And I put my little dog, Mac, this one, out first this morning. And he's older and he was meandering. Keep walking and doing your hands just like this. Don't bring them high. And as you walk backwards, do not go fast. Go slowly and get your heel up. See, that does a couple things. I'm digressing. When you bring your knee up a little higher and your heel up a little higher, you hesitate a bit and you shift. See, you have to shift if you're going to bring the heel up, if you're going to bring the knee up. Now, are you breathing through your nose? Yes? In through your nose, out through your mouth. So, by just hesitating, bringing the knee up, bringing the heel up, going slowly, working your arms, you start propriocepting, you start balancing, you start shifting, you start weight loading, which is our goal today, right? And we're going to do some all-encompassing moves today. That way, you don't get so specific with just one joint or just one muscle group, because what I'm going to try to do is take you through using multiple joints at the same time, multiple muscles at the same time, which is what we're doing right now. Okay? A couple more times. So let me tell you why I got warmed up quickly. I opened up the fence. He starts his little wobbling to the yard, and then he takes off like a shot. And you get that panicky feeling, kind of thinking, oh my goodness, what's out there? I thought, surely something's outside the fence. Well, it wasn't outside the fence. It was inside the fence. And it was a big, like a really big rabbit. I'm glad it wasn't a groundhog. Anyway, so he starts running after this little rabbit. Keep going. I'm telling you this story so you'll keep going. Okay? In through the nose, out through the mouth. So he's running around with the rabbit, trying to corner the rabbit. The rabbit's banging into the fence. I'm yelling at him because I don't want him to chomp it. And I left the door open, and here comes Ruby. So they're running the rabbit around all over the yard, and I'm chasing them, yelling at them, because I don't want them to chomp the rabbit. Anyway, you get warmed up when you do that. Okay, now split. Okay? Now split. And you'll notice when you split, by virtue of walking and splitting your arm swing like this, you start warming up the mid to lower back. Yeah, so it's already started the heat. And now, just by changing and going to split arm swings, wow, I feel that in my core, in my lower back, in my chest, because I have to turn. See that? So bring your heel up, go slowly. You don't go fast. You do not go fast. Okay? So even though, for those of that might be pulling this up randomly and I haven't gone over my setup, always have a kitchen chair next to you. I had put mine out there and didn't pull it back in here. So I'm going to use like my couch where my dogs are or whatever if I need it, or this counter if I need it. But I'm going to do a lot of full body moves, which is what we're doing right now as I swing and as I swing the arm from the shoulder. Okay, one more pass and we're just about there. Okay, take a big breath through the nose, out through the mouth. I'm hoping that you're starting to think about that as you're walking, working, doing things. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Yeah. Okay, now we've done tons of front to backs, correct? Now we're going to go in the frontal plane. So this is the frontal plane. So we were working in the sagittal plane, and then we started doing transverse plane, but now we're going to go frontal, okay? Now we're going to take our arms just like this and bring it back down. I'm going to go step. So when you step, the very first thing you should be thinking about doing is hip hinging, softening your knees, okay? Keep your chin tucked. Here we go. Step in through the nose, out through the mouth. Bring them back in. Step in through the nose, out through the mouth. Step. So you go as far as you can. It'll be 2 or 3 steps. But as you're stepping and you're going to put pressure into that foot that's stepping, your knee needs to be soft, okay? Do not lock your knee here. A lot of people do that. And they grind away at parts of their inside or outside of their knee, and they don't even realize it, and then they wonder, why do I have pain in my knee? So think about how you're doing a frontal plane motion, okay? See that? So these are just these words: frontal, sagittal, transverse planes of motion are normal, functional ranges of motion. But you know what happens when you get injuries, or you have operations, or you have arthritis, or you have different things like this? You stop walking, working, moving in the planes of motion. And unfortunately, we only start shuffling, and we only start doing this. And even to turn, it's a big deal. That's why I try to address all these functional planes of motion. So now we're in the frontal plane. Now I've been doing this now for several steps. So here's my question to you. Listen, listen. Every time you take a step to the side and bring your arms up, what should you be saying to your shoulders? Down, rib cage up. So see, even though you do a hip hinge, a tiny hip hinge, even though you soften your knees and you're doing this kind of a motion, your rib cage stays up, okay? So if you will do that, you'll feel immediately, you will feel your back extensors contract. Let me tell you, that move, and I'm encouraging you to do it as we do these planes of motion, and we're in the frontal plane now. Take a big deep breath, and every time your foot softens and steps, your tummy goes in, your shoulders go down, your rib cage comes up. Breathing into the nose, out through the mouth. Okay, one more pass. Drop the shoulders, drop the shoulders, drop the shoulders. Okay. I haven't said one thing about turning your hands, have I? But now I want you to turn your thumbs out, okay? This is going to be a big deal in just a minute here, okay? So one of the things as I'm setting you up for this next move, you're standing here, your thumbs are turned out, almost back. You're going to soften and take a step forward, rock to the ball of the foot in the back, and then step back. See this? So drop your shoulders, drop your chin, in through the mouth, out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Sorry. Somebody's going, wait a minute, you're mixed up, Jeannie. I'm usually mixed up. Okay. Kathy's laughing. I know she's laughing right now. She's like, you got that right. Okay, see how this is? You think this might be a little move. This is not a little move. When you do this move right here and you don't get the shifting proper and you don't feel the feet, this is a big move, okay? See how I step forward, I bend the back knee, and I go to the ball of the foot, okay? Some of you have big time feet problems, and I know this. But what I'm attempting to do right now is use my lineup, my ranges, and my planes of motion to actually wake your feet up, okay? Here's the deal. This is why this is such a big thing. Because most of the time when we take a step forward, do you know what happens? We lead with our head and our nose, and we're down like this, and we take a step forward. This is why you see this all the time. We don't want to do that. So if you don't want to do that, you got to train not to do that. So I'm turning here to the side, and I'm showing you the problem. I'm turning my thumbs out. That's number one. That move right there is going to get you to stretch and to open your shoulders. Now, why is this a big deal? Because when I go and put weights in your hands in just a second or two, maybe 3 or 4, it's going to be a big deal, okay? See this? So as I step, like I'm going to take a step, but then I don't. See that? That's my chance to line up right here, okay? Drop your chin, preferably with your teeth closed, and come back, okay? Don't jump it. Pretend you've got some pretty good weights that you're hanging on to right now, okay? Tight tummy, shoulders are down. See my feet? See I'm at the ball of my foot? See that? See that? And then I press into the heel and come back, all right? Step, go to the ball of the foot. So it's taking a little pressure, but it's being divided from the step forward. See that? Now, when I go back, I want to lower my center of gravity. I don't want to jump up, which is what a lot of you do. Okay, you don't realize you do it, but right here, tightening your tummy and go back by lowering your center of gravity. It's going to make you use your hips, your gluteals, and your hamstrings very differently than if you see what you do is you jump up and then you let the stronger muscles put you back here. I don't want that. I want you to push into that whole leg and don't use that little jump to pull yourself back. I want you to push back. So it's a push, pull. See that? It's not a jumping up and then lock your leg to get yourself in back there. So I'm hoping by going through this systematically and doing it over and over, you will start understanding that the way you move really can either help strengthen you, build you up, or it can break you down, okay? And so you just know you always have gravity working on you, right? You can let the gravity work on you in a really good way that's going to help you strengthen. Is it going to be harder at first? Yes, it is. It's going to be very hard at first, okay? Take a big breath through the nose, out through the mouth. And yes, whenever I am talking and I tell you, breathe through the nose, it's very difficult for me to do that and keep my mouth shut. Try it. Actually, that's the way to keep the peace whenever that you have all your family in. Sit there, breathe through your nose, out through your mouth. It'll be hard to talk, so you can't argue. Okay, see how my thumbs have been out like this? Yeah? So what I'm going to do is keep my thumbs out, I'm going to take an unusually large step. See that? Now, this is where, if you have a chair, always have a chair, a wall, something that you can put your hand on to steady yourself. I just don't have one here today. If I needed to, I would put my hand here on my counter or on my chair. But I'm okay to do without it. I'm just telling you that if you need it, put yourself a chair there. Because I'm going to have you dip, okay? I didn't say you were a dip. I said I'm going to have you dip. Okay, there's a difference. My thumbs are still up. Some of you have already turned them in because it's too hard. I know what's happening. Keep your thumbs up if you can. Keep your elbows in, but keep your thumbs up, okay? See the big step? Now I'm going to dip. Now if I had my chair, if I needed it, it would be right here. I have a chair right here if I need it. But you see how I'm dipping? I'm going down as far as I can with my back knee, and I'm hanging out here. And if I feel that my knee is too far over my toe, then I have to widen back. Some of you ruin your knees because in order to step back, you feel out of balance. That's where you put your hand on your chair, on your counter, on your wall. But go wider. Then, when you bend the knee to dip, you don't shove this knee over your toe, which is not what I want to do. I want to kick these muscles like you can't believe. I don't want to hurt my knee. So keep your thumbs up. Take a big breath, say rib cage up. Some of you are leaning forward. Don't do that. I hope you're hanging out here with me just for a second. This is part of body loading, okay, what we're doing right this minute. And it should be kicking you. Take a big breath. Okay, now I'm going to do a pulse. See that? I'm not doing a bounce. In through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Put your hand on a counter if you need it, on a chair, whatever. Take a breath, say rib cage up. Just two more. Stay with me. You should be screaming right now. Right now. This is it now. Nose, out through the mouth, hold. Now come up, bring that leg forward. Oh, I know. Walk back. See, there's that walk back. Turn that toe out. Turn the toe out. Now bring your hands in. Okay? Oh, and if you brought your hands in just now and you like said, oh, finally, that should speak to you about how far forward you're bending because it's hard to pull back. I'm just here to tell you that unless you have a real structural abnormality, you can pull back, okay? So here I am. I'm going to be right here so I can put my hand on the counter or on this chair if I need it, but you have your kitchen chair, right? Okay, this was the leg that was forward before, so this is the leg that's going forward this time. I'm going to take my foot back. Now I'm going to bring my shoulders up and around, do a little shoulder circle before I really start this, okay? So if you're wobbly, what do? You either widen your stance, you don't shorten your stance because that will, when in this dipping motion, your knee's got to go somewhere, okay? I don't want it out over your toe. So that means you've got to step back further, okay? Don't turn your feet out like a duck in order to get your balance. You don't do this, not right now. We'll do that sometime, but not right now. Keep it forward, okay? But go back a little further. That way, when you go ahead and bend the knee and you roll to the ball of the foot, which we already warmed up, right? Yeah, we already warmed it up. In through the nose, out through the mouth, go to the toe, bring that knee down very slowly. Okay, let me tell you, the first thing somebody will say, well, how far down do I go? I'm going to say, well, let me watch you, see? Because if you start going down and everything's good, and then all of a sudden you start leaning out, I'm going to say, whoa, that's it. Do you see what I'm saying? So you have to stay back. Ear over shoulder, shoulder over hip. See that? Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. See, I'm bending. See, I can go down further on this one because this one is my knee replaced side. It's tighter and it's harder for it to get on down there. But I'm going down there and I'm going to hang out here. See how my thumbs are out? Okay, pretend right now, if you're starting to whine and complain at how this is feeling, pretend that you have weights in your hands. See? See there? It always can be worse. In through the nose, out through the mouth. See how I'm doing these little pulses? In through the nose, out through the mouth. Thumbs are out. In through the nose, out through the mouth. I'm going to look. See, the very first thing I would look at right now, if I came in where you were doing this, I would look at this knee. How far out over the foot is it? It needs to pretty much be in line with the ankle. Pretty much, even in the bending. See this? Yes! Just three more, stay with me. In through the nose, out through the mouth, tight tummy. Drop your shoulders, thumbs out. Yeah, see rib cage up. Oh, was that 3? I think that was 3. Okay, come up and come forward. Okay? Now, if you're trembling just a little bit in your legs, perfect. That's what we want. Okay? But if it's so much and you're down and you can't get up, well, you probably should have taken a break before that. Okay. So step, 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 right? So I told you I was going to do a lot of full body motions today. So almost every move now that we've done is pretty full body. So use your little chair, use your wall. I'll put my hands here if I need it. I told you I was going to get you down and up. This is strength training day, correct? I would love it if people who came into my class on a regular basis, especially if they, are not structurally compromised with, joint issues or whatever. And if that's the case, right now, always use a chair to help you down. But you're going to find yourself somewhere that you might be down on the ground and you have to get up and there's nothing around for you to help you up. This is a strength training move, okay? It is a strength move to get down, 3-point stance, and up with no chair help. Use the chair if you need it. I hope you're getting me whenever I say this, okay? So here I am, right here. So I have some PE people in here. I don't know if Doris is on today. I don't know if Ed is on. Who else? A lot of PE people. See this? See this? You know this is a 3-point stance. We've done it a lot in my class. Okay? So when I put my hand down here, I just use it as a vehicle to crawl out. And I'm going to go out into a high plank. See that? Now, if you're saying to yourself, go ahead and stay there if you got down there. Many of you should be doing this from the chair. Okay, so I'll use this chair since I have it here. So just do it from the chair. And just hang out there for just a few seconds. So I'm just doing this all the way out onto the floor. Okay, now squeeze your butt really tight. Take a big deep breath. Count to 10. You're in a high plank. Count to 3. Count to 5, whatever. Then you're going to walk your hands back. You're going to take a wide stance, and you're going to go right back to that 3-point stance. I don't care which hand you use, okay? This is a move, y'all, that if you did this 5 to 10 times every day, you get warmed up, walking around, doing things, Then you just get in the floor somewhere, walk out, bring your feet in, and you're bringing it right down to a good plank. So this is a high plank. Take a breath. So I could do this from the chair. That would be my modification. Then you see I'm going to come right back out of it. So I'm right here. See that? You can go ahead and stand up if you want to. We'll go ahead and stand right up. See that? So if I needed to modify, of course I would be doing it from the chair. So to get benefit, you do not have to go all the way down into the floor. I'm just using this because I want to do big movements that encompass the whole body in a strength training modality, okay? You can do a very nice job by going onto the chair, using your chair seat, a bench, whatever. See, put the bench here, whatever. I'm doing it going to the floor. Take a breath, in through the nose, out through the mouth. I'm going to do my 3-point stance. Just remember, that's where you are going to come back to, is this 3-point stance. Then when you start to crawl out, keep your tummy tight, bring your feet in, squeeze the butt, soften your elbows. Take a big deep breath, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And you see how I'm on my toes? And I'm going to push back and forth just a couple times just to count off the seconds. So I want to do between like 4 to 10 seconds that I'm hanging out down here, keeping my tummy super tight. Then I'm going to raise my hips, bring my hands back, open, push, push, push. Now I'm at my 3-point stance again. See? See? Okay, I'm going to do this move 2 more times. You pick and choose. If you've had enough, don't turn the whole thing off. Just say, let me rest. So here I am. I'm going to come up. So I want to come on up. I don't want to just go down because it's conserving energy because, well, she's going to go down again, so let me stay down there. No, no, no. Come up. And you come up through your hips. Okay, now right this minute, if you're standing here with me, ask yourself, have I locked my knees? If you have, soften them. Push your butt back. Drop your shoulders. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Hip hinge. Go to that high 3-point stance. See that? So in doing this, I'll take just a little interset right here. Because when I turn and put one hand down, I shift. And I straighten one leg and I keep one leg bent. And you know what that does? That facilitates great stretching, flexibility work through my groin. See, right through here is where you should be feeling that as you drop your hip. As you drop your hip, as you drop your hip. Rib cage up, in through the nose, out through the mouth, right through here. Groin. See, I'm going to go back and forth. I don't just hang out there. I go back and forth until I hit the stretch. Hold it for a few seconds. Press in. Then swing to the other side. Lower your shoulders. Say rib cage up. Okay, do it back and forth. Now, some of you might say, well, how many of those do I do? And I would say some of you are much tighter through the groin muscles, the adductors and abductors, ab and ad. And you need to do this a little bit, a few more repetitions just to get it to loosen up. So that has to do, tight groin muscle really has a lot to do with how your hip functions, okay? Okay, so I've done it back and forth. It feels so much better. Now I'm going to walk my hands out. I'm going to stay wide to start with. And then I'm going to pull those feet in. And I'm going to be a plank. And if I want to, I can go to my fists. Some of you may want to just be on your hands. Some of you may want to be on the chair seat. Take a big breath. Take a big breath. Hang out here. Big breath. Now bring the hips up, go wide, walk back, and you're right here. Now we've got one more. Hang out here with me for a second. Okay, here we go. Walk back out. Oh, I didn't get back up on that one. Sorry about that. I told you I mixed up. Take a breath. Take a breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. You're hanging out here. Do heel pushes. See the heel push? Yeah, do heel pushes, about 4 of them, even up to 10. And see if you can maintain a plank. Now, bring the hip up. Open, open. You're coming off the ground. See that? Right here. Now come on up. Take a big deep breath. Now we're going to do this move again later in the class, and we're going to go into the knee. Okay? So I'm letting you know that this is what's going to happen so that you can be excited about what's coming up. Okay? Now, since I'm going to do this class as a full body loading, of course, it's going to bring into play the carry. So you see what I just picked up? Yep, I just picked up my bag. Okay? So here's my bag. My bag is loaded with about 40 pounds. Okay? So when I go to pick it up, I just got in position that most people get in when they actually hurt their back or they strain a deep core muscle. Do you know why? Because here's my bag on the side. See, normally people don't come in here and go like this, and they're going to pick up the bag straight on like this. Normally that's not how we pick up a load, is it? No, you have a bag here. Some of us, our purses are about like that, right? You bend over like this and you go and pull that heavy weight here. That's what normally happens. That is exactly why your back sometimes gives you trouble. So, step a little wider. It's here on the side. Hip hinge. Drop your shoulders. Make sure your shoulders are in. Okay, push into the heels. Now I'm picking it up on one side, right? But I'm straight on. Now I'm going to push into the heels and I'm going to pull center. See? And I'm going to try to equalize. Then I'm going to walk with that load. Then I'm going to walk backward with this load. And it should be a load that's challenging for you. Okay? So I'm going to walk forward. I'm going to step at least shoulder width in through the nose, out through the mouth. I'm going to bring it over here and put it. See how I turned? So I did not bend and flex and put it down with straight knees or locked knees. I did not do that. I was in my heels. I pushed my hips back. I did the transverse. I put it down. Okay? Now, why am I doing this? Because you guys are going to be picking up lots of bags and things like that. Think about how you do it. Save yourself a lot of agony. Okay? So here I am. It's on this side now. So, am I just going to go like this and pick it up with my hand like this? No, I'm going to pick it up with this hand. But I'm going to push my butt back. I'm going into my heels. I say rib cage up. Pull my shoulders down. And when I get ready to pull, I'm tighten. I'm going to push into the heels. I'm going to squeeze my butt. Yeah, right there. Now I'm up good. And I don't overuse those weaker muscles in my back and my core. And I'm going back, and I'm going back, and I'm going back, and I'm going back. So this is my challenge side, actually. And you might say, those of you who pay attention to things like this, well, why is that your challenge side, Jeannie? Because your hip is the other side. So I'm telling you, if you have both hips replaced, I'm telling you, this carrying business is a big deal. Okay? especially when you give yourself a big challenge of a weight. Do you see how I'm doing it very pensively? I'm being very careful, keeping my knee bent, keeping my knee bent, keeping my knee bent. I'm trying to do a smooth walk. It's very difficult with a hip replaced on the opposite side, because that's the side that really has to compensate, see, and has to keep you level. So it's really work to do this and to do it smoothly. See, that's the big deal. But this is a very, very functional move. Keep your shoulders down. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Be very measured in how you're walking with this heavy load. Okay? Big breath, big breath, big breath. Now put it down right in the middle. Okay? Now step wide. Now I have my carry bag right here in the middle. Correct? Okay, get ready. Open and close your hands. Open and close your hands. Open and close. So this is another reason that if you're going to be carrying stuff, you know, unloading cars, lots of groceries, heavy groceries, all this kind of stuff. This is all stuff that we want to do. We want to be independent. Well, if you want to be independent, you better check in a few of these sessions, because I'm trying to show you how to do just that. Okay, are you ready? So here I am wide. I have my gloves on, so that protects my hands, number one. Keeps them warm, number two. But you still have to give breaks, okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it middle, and I'm going to lace my fingers. See? So I'm going to hold it right here. So I don't pull it way up. It's just a little bit up. I'm going to step forward so I don't hit anything behind me. Okay? So now, I don't want you to go great guns right now. My load is over 40 pounds. Okay, so it's quite the load. I'm going to lace my fingers on the straps, the handles, and you see what I'm doing in order to get this to move? I'm not moving my shoulders. See, if you're moving your shoulders with this heavy weight, that would be a mistake. Okay? All my shoulders are doing is hanging on. All right? I'm getting this whole movement through a swing with my feet, my knees, my hips, my back. And the load is coming right down through the shoulders, through the spine, through every joint. This is weight training, okay? This is strength work. Take a breath. Take a breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Don't go great guns on this swinging. It stays pretty low. But just to maintain and to keep the swing going without using your arms is quite a big deal, okay? Tight tummy, just 3 more. Whew. Hang on, 1 more. Okay. Put it down. Now, if you had a pretty good weight, your fingers were getting crunched. So open those fingers. Open, close. Turn the palms up. See that? Okay, now with the palms up, just like that, I'm going to step out. I'm going to do a tiny dip. See, I'm not going all the way down. I'm just acting like I took a walk, but instead of taking another step, I just am dipping with that back leg, because I'm doing body weight training. And when we go into a split stance like I am right now, I am pushing a hamstring, a gluteal, my adductors, my abductors, my quads, my calves, my feet, my core. See, it's not a big move. It's just a little tiny dip. See that? Keep your shoulders down, palms up. If it's bothering your shoulder at all, the joint, bring your elbows in. Just hang on, a couple more, and then you're going to go to the other one. Sorry about that. Kathy's like, do you know how many we've done? Okay, stop. Okay, now you're going to switch. All right, now you're going to put the other one back. Now you're going to put the other foot back. Okay, and so how do you gauge how far to go? You just bring your foot back, and then you just take like a walk. See, I don't want to go much more than that. Because why? Because I want you to stay upright. Okay, I don't want you leaning in. I don't want your knees leaning out. I just want a little dip, because I just put a pretty heavy whammy on your structure. But I want to recuperate while I do just a little bit of a dip. See that? Bring your elbows in if you need to, but if you can hold them up here with your shoulders down, that is what I'm looking for. In through the nose, out through the mouth, drop your shoulders, stay rib cage up, in through the nose, out through the mouth, rib cage up, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Yeah, hang with me, hang with me. Shoulders down. See the little tiny dip? I'm on my toe in the back, full foot on the front, but you should feel a little shaky if you're loaded with your carry bag and you were doing all of these with me from the beginning. You should be just a little shaky in your feet and your legs. Okay, bring it in and bring it up. Walk, 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 walk. Now is when we turn the toe out. See that? It releases. Bring it back. Turn the toe out. Stay forward so that you get that nice turning or transverse motion through your core and your lower back. In through the nose, out through the mouth, tight tummy. Turn just like that. Yeah. Big breath and bring it back. Okay. So one of the reasons I like to use carries and free weights and gripping and all that, even though it will smart just a little bit because you're having to hang on to it. I like to use these things because it helps your grip. So I'm going to take my bag. I'm going to pull it up centrally. See that? Centrally. See that? So here's the thing you should ask yourself when you go to put it down. What position is your knee in? See? It should be right in line with your ankles. And if you go to pick it up and you push your knees forward, you want to quit doing that. Come down, push your butt back, come up. Now we pull that bag up as far as we can. Hopefully it'll reach up to around your belly button. See that? But I don't go high with my shoulders. This is one of the best ways I know of to add real weight load to not only your shoulders safely, but to your spine. So keep your chin tucked, keep your feet grounded, your knees are soft, your butt is pushing back. Now, right now they're squeezing. The gluteus are squeezing. Now you push the butt back, you go down just to the ground. Keep your chin tucked. Here we go. Breathe in, nose, out, mouth, right there. See that? So see, I'm sharing, doing a full body lift of over 40 pounds right here. Whew. Okay? So this is why I could grab those bags of sand this summer and drop it onto my little sand pile. This kind of work, reminding yourself how to move safely and then doing it repeatedly. You're training your muscles, you're training your myelin sheath to grow more because your body's getting the message. Oh, geez, she's tuned in, he's tuned in to the crazy woman again. We have to change. She's going to lift. See, that's the message you're wanting to get to your muscles. Stay with me. Don't stop now. Don't stop now. See, I'm using a very functional move. I'm being very methodical about how I'm lifting, how I'm shifting, how I'm pulling. It's a big deal. Oh, take a breath. Now we're going to hold this one. Heels. Now come up. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Bring those elbows in. Drop your shoulders. And just go 1, 2, 3. See the shoulders? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Down, down, open. Step away. See how I'm working backwards? You should be a little shaky right now. Just a little shaky. In through the nose, out through the mouth. You notice I kept my bag there for a reason. There's some of these moves that are so functional, and they're moves that you need to be able to do every day, that you're not going to be able to do every day if you don't use them in a training modality as you have your birthdays. It's a use it or lose it type of a thing, more than your birthdays, even though your birthdays do count, because things just start going haywire. Okay? But you have something to say about that in many ways. Okay, see what I'm doing? I'm just shifting. See this? My hips are back, and I'm doing a little play back and forth, right? My knees are not coming out over my toes. They're bending, but because my butt's pushed back, I'm training my back. I'm putting great load properly on my neutral spine. Okay, are you ready? Take a big deep breath. Thumbs go out first, and they go into a W second. And right this minute, many of you have locked your knees. I wonder who I caught. Unlock your knees. When you unlock your knees, your butt has to be pushed back a tiny bit. Keep your chin tucked. Palms are up. I'm in my W. See that? Then I'm going to go out. See that? Take a big deep breath. And then come back down into the W as you go back and forth on your feet. So now I'm going to shift. I'm going to raise my heels. And then I'm going to raise my one toe and then the other toe. One toe and then the other toe. Now raise your heels. Go into the toe box and raise your heels. Now stay up there for just a second. So why am I doing this? Because you're going to do this against I'm going to do this against 40 pounds in just a second. So see how I go into my heels? My knees are soft. My palms are up. Okay? In through the nose, out through the mouth. Now raise your heels one more time. Your heels are off the ground. And now do pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. See that? Okay, now step away. Step away, step away, step away, step away. So, I hope if you hear nothing else, I hope you're hearing this. This one's going to be full body weight loading, okay? I didn't do just curls. I didn't just do some back of the arm. I did full body challenges, okay? One of the best ways you can do a full body challenge for is a squat, properly done, and then learn how to raise your heels up. Go into that toe box. Now, some of you avoid doing this. You know why? Because you lose your balance too quickly, and then it's frustrating, or you get panicked and you think you're going to fall. So what I'm saying is, if you're doing this one and you need a modification, use the modification. Bring that chair over, or get yourself at a wall. Use weights in one hand and just hold on to a pole or a chair or a wall. And then you can do this challenge. Got to understand, your calves take a lot of weight. I mean, they got to carry you around all day long, right? So they can take a lot. They should take a lot. That's why I love stair climbing. Okay, I digress. I gave you a break. Here we go. Are you ready? Now we're going to go into that foot shifting, heel raising thing with our weight. If you need to put your hand on a chair, pick up, just unload your carry, or just pick up a weight that's not as much in one hand. That's fine. But if you can do them both, see, and be in front of a wall or next to a bed so that you can steady yourself if you need to. And what's the first thing you do when you start to lose balance? Drop your weight. That's the first thing. Okay, so I'm trusting that you will use whatever modification works for you. Okay, so here I go. My butt's pushed back. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Push into the heels. You bring the weights up. Then I'm going to pull them right to here. See that? And then I'm going to go into the toe box. I'm going to raise my heels. And I'm going to keep going until I feel those muscles getting that challenge burn. Yeah. Breath. Drop your shoulders. Hang out here. You can let them go all the way down if you want to, if that's better for you. I just want the weight to be on your whole spine, shoulders, and especially your calves. Okay, so if you can stay into your toes and then do several heel lifts. See how I'm doing heel lifts? See how I'm just pulling them up there? And I'm pulling them up until my calves start really getting my attention. That's how many you do. Breath, breath. I got about 3 more. Okay, put that down. Take a big breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Now, what do you do after you do that kind of a challenge? You put your hand on your chair, your wall, and you just pull your toe back like this. This is where if you had a stretching strap, you would loop it over your toe and pull. But you see, you don't need one of those. You could do a belt. Just make a loop on a belt. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Pull that toe back. So the minute I did this, if I were with you, some of you would say, well, I don't feel it. And I would say, well, it's because you've got your toe turned funny. So I'm saying the toes will come straight back and you're going to do that little curtsy. Remember? See the little curtsy where you pull that toe back? So this is where if you had a toe strap or a belt, you'd be pulling as you push your butt back. And then you bend the knee, transfer the weight, switch. See? Use a wall, a chair, a counter. Put that foot out. Now, swing the butt back, go into your curtsy, and grab that toe. See that? And then you can pull that toe into a nice stretch. You never have to, you can just do it freestanding, or you can do it leaned up against a wall and just pull that toe back so it gets a great stretch. Then you take a big breath and you stop where you started. Both arms and come back. See this swing? So I'm being very kind to shoulders here. So I know I have a lot of people out there that are shoulder people. So don't force them in an out of control move to swing hard. So just bend, go under your chin and under your chin. Okay? Push the butt back. Push the butt back. And then split stance. Now you get a little transverse. Now you get some of that nice low back action. Okay? Upper body action. Keep your chin tucked. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Step back. Step in through the nose, out through the mouth. Step. Big breath. Big breath. Hang out. And come back. Woo! Full body. Very functional. Loading for all your muscles, all your bones. Good job.